Hey, it's Eric G. Around the House is sponsored by Baldwin Hardware. For 75 years, Baldwin Hardware has been known for its first-class quality and craftsmanship in door and cabinetry hardware. As an alumnus of the Baldwin Hardware Design Council, I can say I have seen the details and quality from design to the finished product. If you're looking for a new style and old-world craftsmanship, I can tell you there is only one Baldwin Hardware. Check out what would look great in your home at baldwinhardware.com.
It's Around the House. When it comes to remodeling and renovating your home, there is a lot to know, but we've got you covered. This is Around the House.
Welcome to the Around the House show. This is where we help you get the most out of your home through information and education. Thanks for joining us today. Hope everybody's having a great middle of the week. I have been busy out doing some great TV shoots, having some fun out there. And today I wanted to talk on our midweek special about something that's just a great reminder. And it doesn't matter where you're at in the country. This is something that it's time to have it taken a look at, if you know what I mean. This is kind of one of those, bench seasons as we're going between, jumping from summer into winter. And it doesn't matter if you're in North Dakota or Florida. There is some maintenance that you should be doing about right now. And the big one is your HVAC service. Now, my recommendation here is to, if you're in the north, where you're getting below freezing and you're going to start relying on heat now, is to make sure and have your HVAC professional out there to take care of that system. Now, if you've got a gas furnace, oil, boiler, heat pump, electric furnace, whatever you've got going, make sure that you've got somebody out there at least once a year taking care of that and taking a look at it, because it is one of those things that is such a big deal. And there's a lot to getting that annual service done. And I usually recommend having them come out about this time of year to take care of the furnace. And in the springtime, having them take care of the AC. Or having them come out and service the heat pump twice. Or if you're down south and heat's not a real big thing, just having them come out and look at the entire system twice a year. Now, the best way to save money on this is your provider that's usually coming out there. Ask some questions about having a service contract, because many times these service contracts can really help you out, which is cool because it can get you some discounts. One, they can come out and many times predict what's happening. The last thing you want is, like I've had, great example. I had in a rental house I was in one time, it was Thanksgiving and it was cold outside. It was our first real cold spell. And sure enough, what happens? The control board on the furnace goes out. Burns itself up. It's done. Well, that thing had been hot over and over again, so you could see where it had been hot for a while. If I would have been having service on that every year, that would have been predicted and we could have caught it. Instead, I had to have people come out over the weekend. Actually, it was a Wednesday night before Thanksgiving because I had people the next day. So it was a holiday night that they came out there and got it working until they could get it. They basically hot wired in, because it was an old 80% gas furnace, so they hot wired in a temporary control board to get it going. And then they ordered the right one and came out and put it in. But long story short, what happens here is that this maintenance is kind of like the oil change on your vehicle. You really need to do it. So make sure and have them come out. If you've got a newer efficiency unit, they're going to come out there and check all the computer stuff on it. They're going to make sure that all the safety's working. And, all your condensing lines and stuff, all those drain lines are clear and cleaned up. Many times they'll test the fans. They'll check to see what the amperage pull is on it to make sure that those aren't burning out. And these are all things that are going to get you working at best speed coming up into winter months, whether you're using the AC or the heat, depending on where you're in the country or around the world. So really getting that service done is a big one right now. So make sure you get that scheduled. It's a good time of year to do it because many times it's not the hottest or the coldest. So a lot of those breakdowns aren't as emergency because it's a time that we're kind of in between seasons right now. So it's a great time to get that service work done. So spend the time, make sure you get that knocked out, and it's a good time to get it done. I had mine done here recently, so I'm good to go. Next up, now on our recall list today that we do most every week, depending on what's out there, there's a couple important ones. Curio recalls the Capri Blue pet products due to risk of exposure to bacteria. So it's a big recall alert. So the recalled pet product can contain bacteria, including, I'm not even going to read that because that's a big one here, but it's an environmental organism found widely in soil and water. And this can be, you could have a risk of serious infection by using this stuff. So bacteria can enter the body if inhaled through the eyes. And this is a spray, so be careful. People without, if you've got a healthy immune system, you're usually not affected by that. But basically, they're saying stop immediately using the recalled product purchased from June 23 to August of 23, and visit cbpetcarerecall.com and get over there for more information. So if you've got the Curio recall where they could grab the Capri Blue pet products, make sure and grab that. And then everything else is really kind of, there's the Future Motion recalls. They're one-wheel self-balancing electric skateboards. Be careful with those. They basically recalled them back. There's 300,000 of those. So basically, they've got a system in there that's not working. And so they've had crashes and 4 deaths reported. So be careful with all of those. And then I can't remember if we talked about it, but Secure recalls their air fryers due to fire and burn hazards. So be careful of that. There's only about 6,400 of those, so it wasn't a big one. But make sure that you've got that taken care of. So any more information about any of those recalls, head over to cpsc.gov/recalls, and you can find out more information there. Now that we're getting into the cooler months, one more thing that I want you to do is to go around the house. If you have baseboard heat, if you have like the Cadet fan blown in, like your wall mount Cadet heaters, it is time to go through, get those cleaned up, get them maintained. So get the vacuum out, shop vac, make sure they're turned off, get them all vacuumed out, cleaned up, good to go. So everything is looking good. If you've got the Cadet wall heaters, turn the power off, take the 2 screws out, take the cover off, get your vacuum out and maybe a soft bristle like a paintbrush, and make sure you get those all cleaned out and maintained. So anything touching any of these wall heaters could be any kind of a fire hazard. So make sure that your baseboard is very clear. Keep everything away. And if you've got any space heaters being used, 1, do not use them on an extension cord. And 2, make sure you don't have them plugged into any kind of a power strip, because that's how fires happen. And we don't want to see any of those things happen. Even worse is plugging them into an overloaded outlet, or even worse that I've seen, some people actually putting extension cords and putting in one of those adapters into a light fixture and trying to pull the power out of there. Use some common sense here, guys. Make sure that it's plugged into the right outlet, and do not use any kind of an extension for that. If you need to get something that has a longer cord, buy a heater with a longer cord so it's built in and UL listed. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. I'm going to head out the door here. I have got stuff to do, and I know you do too. We'll see you on Saturday. We got a great show coming up this weekend. Thanks for tuning in to Around the House. We'll see you then.
Anywhere beyond the mean, life is a love song, let's be lovers. We're all over the radio, take my hand, I know where to go. All over the radio with you.
Hey, it's Eric G. from Around the House. Are you planning a decking or siding project this year? If you are, you've got to check out my friends at Millboard. Millboard is a completely different kind of composite decking and cladding that enhances outdoor spaces with enduring distinction. Hand-molded from the finest oak, it realistically mimics the natural grain and color of premium hardwood. If you're looking for something that doesn't look like plastic and instead real wood, check out Millboard.com. Make sure and check out that interview we did just a few weeks back. That's Millboard.com.